Breaking news closer to home tonight, a jury found Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan guilty of obstruction. She was accused of helping an undocumented immigrant evade federal agents. Jury deliberations began today. Dugan did not testify in her own defense.
For the first time, we're seeing Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom April 18th wearing her black robes, appearing to confront several federal agents there to arrest Eduardo Flores-Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged locally with 3 counts of domestic battery. This video, released by Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who's charged with obstructing a federal investigation, concealing Flores-Ruiz, allowing him to leave her courtroom by a different door.
A judge's duty is to the law, not an agenda. Today, a Milwaukee jury delivered a message that resonated far beyond the courtroom. Accountability has arrived for Hannah Dugan. The facts of this case are as clear as they are troubling, and they point to a systemic failure within our hallowed halls of justice. In April of 2025, inside the very walls where the law is meant to be upheld, Judge Hannah Dugan chose a different path. She was presiding over a case involving Eduardo Flores-Ruiz, a Mexican national who had no legal right to be on American soil. This individual was not a mere bystander. He possessed a history of violent behavior, including charges of domestic battery and the act of strangulation. He had already been removed from this country once before, yet he returned, only to find an ally in a black robe. When federal agents arrived to perform their lawful duty, the judge did not assist. Instead, she allegedly orchestrated a plan to ensure the subject remained at large. This was not a mistake. It was a calculated move to dismantle the standard operating procedures of federal enforcement. Imagine the scene. Federal officers standing ready to secure a known threat, only to be met with resistance from the bench. Evidence presented during the trial suggested that Dugan directed these agents away from their target, providing the necessary distraction for a coordinated exit. She reportedly allowed the individual to utilize a restricted back exit, a path reserved for court staff, to vanish into the city. By doing so, she did more than just help one man evade capture. She compromised the safety of the entire community. The individual she assisted was not a peaceful resident, but someone with a documented history of causing intense physical harm to others. This act of interference created a systemic failure, a gap in our security wall that was torn open by the very person sworn to protect it. For months, the public waited to see if a member of the judicial elite would be held to the same standard as the citizens they judge. The deliberations did not last long, a sign that the evidence of obstruction was overwhelming. On December 19th, the federal jury returned with a decisive conclusion. Guilty. Hannah Dugan, once a figure of authority, now stands as a convicted felon. This verdict serves as a stern warning to any official who believes their personal ideology sits above the United States Code. We are a nation of laws, or we are nothing at all. Throughout the trial, Dugan remained silent, choosing not to testify in her own defense. Perhaps there was no defense for such a blatant disregard for the safety of her fellow citizens. While a secondary misdemeanor charge was dropped, the felony conviction carries the weight of 5 years in a federal facility. This is the price of neutralizing the efforts of those who work to keep our borders secure. The message is clear. The era of activist judges operating with total immunity is coming to a close. As we look toward the sentencing phase, the focus shifts to the broader implications of this conviction. For too long, certain jurisdictions have acted as if they are exempt from federal cooperation. They have created environments where law enforcement is treated as the enemy, and those breaking our laws are treated as victims. This case proves that when the facts are presented to a jury of patriots, the truth wins. We must demand that our leaders prioritize the protection of the American family over the interests of those who enter our country illegally. The neutralization of this threat to our legal system is a victory, but the work is far from over. We must remain vigilant, ensuring that every judge, every mayor, and every governor understands that they are not above the law. Justice has been served in Milwaukee, but the fight for the soul of our legal system continues in every corner of this great nation.